If you're like me, you just love punching people for fun. And with Marvel Rivals, we have Iron Fist, an absolute menace to society. And while many people think he takes zero skill, he actually requires a lot of knowledge and game sense to get a lot of value out of him. So in this video, I'm going to show you how his abilities work, what abilities he can block, some essential tips, and what your gameplay loop should be. So if you want to learn all about this and become the #1 Iron Fist main, make sure you stick to the end of the video, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first of his abilities is Jeet Kune Do. Being his primary or melee attack, he has 6 hits in total, with the first 5 hits doing 32 damage and the 5th one doing 55. This also goes along well with his other ability being Dragon Defense. This block lasts for 1 second and essentially makes you immortal during the second, allowing you to tank all sorts of things. And I'll go over all the things you can tank in the next section of this video. This also converts all the damage blocked into bonus health, with the maximum amount of health being 150. Then after you've blocked, you get a new primary attack called Yatji Chung Kun. I'm sorry, I'm not Chinese if I butchered that. Anyways, once in this state, you have around 5 seconds and you just unleash a volley of fists that do incredible damage. This is on a long 15-second cooldown. However, if you're wailing on someone with your melees, it reduces this block cooldown by 1 second for each hit. And I'll get to how to get this cooldown back faster effectively in my playstyle part of the video. Now the next ability is Kung Lun Kick, and this ability can be both used to escape as well as chase people and confirm kills. These kicks have 2 parts, with the first part of the kick doing 30 damage and the second part doing 35 to 70 damage. The kick will do 70 damage if the target is less than 50% health. His next ability is Harmony Recovery, and is basically free health with a 3-second duration, allows you to float in the air, and gives you 50 bonus health if you're full. So even though he's a 250 HP hero, he can essentially be 300 with this ability. Then moving on to his ultimate Living Chi, this boosts his damage by 30%, his movement speed by 20%, and reduces his block cooldown by 80%. This also grants you bonus range by 100% and is on a 12-second duration. Now, even though you do become a god in this ult, you can be shut down quite easily, and is very similar to how you would use Genji's Blade from Overwatch. And I'll also get into more detail on how to use it in my playstyle part of the video. Now lastly, what I would call his passives being his triple jump and wall run. He can, well, triple jump and wall run. The triple jumps have 3 charges, taking 1 second to charge each of them. And if you're in the air, the cooldown doesn't start until you touch the floor. However, if you wall run, this does start the cooldown, so you could do a triple jump onto a wall and then charge it again and then do another triple jump. And then for his actual passive Chi Absorption, it basically just means any assists or final blows give you bonus health, giving you 50 for each. And now that we've gone over all the abilities, you might be wondering, well, what can Dragon Defense block and not block? Well, that's what I'm gonna find out right now, and some of these might surprise you. Now, I'm going to have a lot of these just playing in the background for your curiosity, and I do want to note a couple of key interactions. Now, I know you might notice that I have unlimited cooldowns, but that's just so I can prove that you can block it. But I will give some tips on blocking some ultimates and when to press the block based on the timing and sound. But I kid you not, this thing literally makes you invincible to everything. One of the interesting ones with me was Hulk, because if you block, he cannot grab you during this block. You can also prevent yourself from being eaten by that little shark. The key thing you want to listen for is those bells. Another thing you can block is Scarlet Witch ult. The key thing is you want to block once you see the 3 blinks, and the 3 blinks usually come after she's done saying Pure Chaos. Now, although you can block everything in the game, one thing you can't block or prevent is the mark from Bucky's ult. Now, I will say that it is probably best to use your kick so that you can avoid the Bucky ult to prevent him from wiping your whole team. Then for the couple of last things I found interesting is that you can block Doctor Strange's ult, the one that pushes your soul out of you. And I would say the key timing is when you can see him like put his knees together, being when you should block. And then lastly, you can block Hawkeye's after images if he shoots them and you block at the same time. But realistically, this isn't going to happen, but I guess it's a little fun fact. But with all that out of the way, let me tell you how to play the character. Now, the one thing you should always be doing no matter what, before and after a fight, is hitting E. Even if you're full health, you want to be at the max HP being 300 at all times. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I mean, it allows you to stay in fights a little longer, and while you're fighting, you'll have it back a lot of the time. Now, besides that, Iron Fist excels at being an opportunist and a brawler. You see, Iron Fist's weakness is that he's very easy to peel for, since a lot of his damage is sustained rather than burst, especially if you go in the higher elos and people actually have brains and awareness. If people just turn around and start healing the guy you're punching, you're not gonna get the kill, and will have to use your kick to get out. What you want to do is try and isolate a 1v1 with someone, usually a support, start punching, and then block to bait out cooldowns and see if you can kill them. One silly thing I'd like to mention is that his punches are really good at tracking people, even people that are flying. But weirdly enough, or at least in my experience, the normal punches compared to the flurry punches are way better at tracking flyers than the flurry punches. Now, I'm gonna explain a flowchart type of playstyle when playing Iron Fist. If you've now done everything to the point where you can go look for a kill, if you can kill this person and your team is close to you, you can save your kick and start punching people so that you can get your block back faster and get your flurry punches. Then if you're punching someone like a Hela and she tries to run away, you've saved your kick and you can chase her down and do more damage to her since she's probably below half if she's running away. Now, I do want to mention that if this Hela or any other person like Hela with an escape ability runs to her team and your teammates aren't with you, you probably shouldn't run for that. But if the team peels for the person you're trying to kill in the back, you're going to want to use your kick to just zip out of there. And I wanted to make it very clear, your triple jump is not enough to escape the team. A little trick I like to do with the camera is I aim up and then do like a little arch to do the kick. I do this so that the kick doesn't accidentally lock onto an enemy I'm trying to run away from, so that I land back to my team so I can heal myself with my E, rather than kick someone in the huddle of enemies and just die there. Then literally you just want to repeat the process of pressing E, get 300 HP, and then look for a target or brawl with your team. Now, moving on to the ultimate, while the ultimate is very strong, like I mentioned before, it is very easy to get killed during this. Now, I see a lot of boo-boo Iron Fist mains just fly in with the kick and pop ult, start punching, and then get sent back to spawn. But what you should be doing is waiting for an opportunity to pop this ult in the middle of a fight, rather than engaging with it first. Similar to Genji, this guy is screaming Chinese words. It will get everyone to just look at you and start shooting the shit out of you. So if your team is just fingering each other's bussy while you fly in there like Liu Kang and pop your ult, the only people they're gonna look at is you. So the right thing to do is, while the fight is happening, you use your wall ride to kind of look for an opportunity, and I usually like dropping on supports with the ultimate and just start going at them. I would also say before popping your ult, it would probably be a good habit in saving your kick. You see, unlike your block, your kick is not significantly reduced because of your ultimate. So if someone runs away from you during the ultimate, you really only have your triple jump, and that doesn't really get you as far as your kicks. And unlike Iron Fist neutral, where you want to save your kick to escape or chase kills in order to survive, since we can block more often, we can honestly just block our way back to our team if things get too crazy, and use our kick to chase down anyone trying to run away from you, because trust me, they are going to run away. But just in case you happen to not have your block, you can save this kick as insurance to get out safely. Because remember, even if you don't get a kill with the ult, it is always best to stay alive rather than sacrifice your life for a kill. And the last thing I want to remind you guys is that while you're in your ult, I know we want to swing all we want, but don't forget to block. Remember, you get bonus health from not only killing people, but also from blocking. So it'll make you really tanky when you're in your ultimate. And with that, we reach the end of the video. While all you do with Iron Fist is press mouse 1, block, and start punching people, what separates the noob Iron Fist to the pro Iron Fist is the decision making. And so I hope I gave you all something to think about and some pretty useful tips to help you climb through the ranked ladder. So if you learned something new and liked the video, well, like the video. It really helps me out a lot more than you think, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any Marvel Rivals content. I plan on doing fun experiments as well as make more guides so that you can become the best at that hero. And if you like this guide, check out my Black Panther guide. It has some cool combos and tips over there. Let me know in the comments if you want a cloak and dagger skin without cloak, if you know what I mean. And with that being said, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Peace and love, baby.